YouTube, good morning, good morning. This your boy, y'all know what time it is. Today, kind of a special day. Today is the 8th of May. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. I haven't did it, I don't do it all the time. I do it once in a while where I go to my mom and dad's grave and walk around and things like that. I may do it tomorrow. I was out there one day last week, so I may go back out there again tomorrow and do a live video. I got a video that's supposed to went up yesterday, but I had some family emergency that I had to take care of, so I wasn't able to post the video and edit it like I should. I ended up editing the video this morning, which I should have put it up this morning so I could put this video up this afternoon, but I'll work it out some kind of way because this video gotta go up. Being this Mother's Day, you know, I just want to say thanks to my mom who made me the way I am, and my dad. I have a lot going on. I've been through a lot of stuff, as you can see. My family, our lives have changed since our parents are gone. Where we used to have somebody we could go to and confide and talk to and tell them things, we don't have that anymore. So we look to other people to vent and to talk. You know, if we don't talk amongst ourselves, we find our spouses and friends and other people to talk to. Me and my sister, we are close. Our birthday's in the same month. My birthday is on the November the 13th, and my sister's birthday is on November the 19th. So we both Scorpios, so we both click together more than my other two brothers. My other two brothers, they hang together, they close. I don't know how that happened, but they're closer than we are closer to them, but we still communicate, you know, which that shouldn't be, but it is. My mom and dad, you know, I know they, like, you know, crazy kids, they do what they want to do, you know, because I say that now. My daughters, I know, I be like, them two right there, you know. So I kind of understand growing up some of the things they say and what they done. I understand it now. Growing up, I didn't, but at the same time, I knew that it was taking care of us. Especially my mom. We became close over the years. We got closer. I know my sister, they was the close. They was like this. But my mom had a special bond with the four of us on a different level. Like, she may talk to me differently, and she would talk to them differently, and them. So everybody had a little something my mom knew that she just didn't say to others, but she knew. You know what I mean? So I miss that because I can remember it like yesterday. We didn't have no insurance for me and my wife and my daughter. We didn't have no insurance on us, and the job I had, it didn't have no insurance. So I was offered another job someplace else, and they had top of the line benefits. And my mom had just like, I don't care what you do, or how you do it, or what you thinking about doing, get that insurance for you and that baby. Get that insurance. Y'all need that insurance. You know, she kept that in my head. And the craziest thing, you guys, it was just like, my mom fussed at me because the job was offered to me on a Monday, week before Mother's Day. The job was offered to me, and I kept saying, my mom, when she fussed at me that whole week, get that insurance. You need that insurance. The insurance is good. Well, my mom, and she just got insurance for her and my dad some weeks before, maybe a month before, I think. And she fussed at me, and she fussed at me that whole week. So that particular day was Mother's Day, and we didn't, let me see, I went to work. Yeah, this is crazy. I went to work, and I normally talk to my mom, you know, several times during the day, you know, but this particular day was Mother's Day. So, you know, we done been to the house, and we done talked and everything, and I had to go to work. So when I got off from work, it was like, call your mom. So I had to walk because we didn't have a car at that time. And I was walking home, and I talked to my mom from my job all the way to the house. She stayed on the phone with me because she was like, I don't want you to walk by yourself. And at that time, the bus had not stopped running, and it was after 11. And I didn't have no money, so I had to walk. And you know how it is when you call people for rides and stuff, at the last minute they change their mind or something like that. So I normally have a backup plan. Well, that particular day, I didn't have a backup plan. I don't know what happened that I didn't do a normal, so I ended up walking. But anyway, we talked and talked and talked and talked, and my mom, she was like, make sure you get that job. That's important for you and your kids and your wife, for y'all to have some life insurance and health insurance and dental and, you know, all of this stuff. And my mom was like telling me this, and I kept saying to myself, I said, well, I'm gonna get this job, because my mom keep nagging me about it. I'm at once, when the lady called back, I'll get the job. I said I'll take it. I'll just, so I can have the benefits, because that was one thing she always said, make sure y'all got some kind of insurance. So I talked all the way till I got home. When I got home, I said, all right, Mom, I'm in the house. And she said, okay, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Well, that Monday, she talked to me on the phone for a little bit, and I said, well, I had to go to work in the afternoon, so I said, well, I'm just gonna lay down and go to sleep. And I went to sleep, and my uncle called. My uncle said, you might want to come to your mom's house. And so I'm like, what's going on? He said, well, your mom passed away. I was like, what? It was like, yeah, your mom passed away. You need to get over here. And I called my daughter, my oldest daughter, from work, and she came by the house and picked me up. But I couldn't drive at the time. Didn't have a car. So I had to get a ride, so I had to call her. And we went over there, and sure enough, she was gone. But I'm glad that I had this bond with her, that I knew she was gonna be okay. You know, my mom and my dad, they done things that we did not know they have done. My mom went to the store, and I don't know when and how. My mom had over 20 dresses, brand new dresses in the closet, ready to go. You know, it was like my sister go in the closet, pick a new dress for my mom to put on, because she had about 20 of them, still had the tags on them, still, you know, ready to go. Like, really? My mom would go to she would go to her bank. Before she go to the bank, she would stop by. I don't know where she went or what store she went to, but she would buy coffee for the ladies in the bank. And she was doing this every day or every other day. I'm not that sure, but she done it. I mean, she was doing this, and we didn't even know she was doing this. She stopped whatever she was doing and went and got them coffee. I'm like, really? You really did? You was doing that? And she was doing a bunch of other things. You know, she had our my nieces, my nephews. She was doing errands for them and running them around. And like, well, we didn't know this lady was doing all this stuff. She wouldn't, you know, that's what I was saying. She had a personal connect with one of us on a different level, where she was doing for others, and it was unique. And I just want to say thank you, Mom. You have done amazing things that you were doing, and it's just like me and my sister. We somehow, it was genetically put into us. My brothers and my other two brothers, I'm not sure, we kind of I don't know how to say it, but we kind of connect but off connect. I guess that's how I can say it. But it's just like me. I am a type of person where if I see you need help and I can help you, I'll help you. It has been people who done me wrong, and I still be like, well, you doing it wrong, let me show you. Or this is what you gotta do. And I know they like in the back of their head, like, you know, I just told this man all this mess and he still helped me. And I tell my wife all the time, I say, you know, it's like I can't help it. It's in my good nature to do that. I have so many people who talk to me, and they be like, you know, I could tell you anything and I don't know why. And I'm like, I don't know why neither. I don't want to know, but you tell me anyway. And I listen. And if I got some kind of advice, it may be good or bad, but I'll say it. My sister the same way. She does the same thing, and we just don't know. You know, it's like we get kicked in the back all the time, but we still, it's a must. And when my dad died, he was doing stuff. He was giving people, he was like a counselor. My dad was kind of mean. But he would sit down with people and talk to them and tell them, well, you shouldn't do, the same exact thing that I kind of picked up. I don't know where it came from, but they were doing the same exact thing. People would say, your dad would come and talk to us and tell us that this and tell us that. And it works out because he talked to us. And I'm like, my daddy? That mean dude? I was like, yeah. Over the years, me and my dad, we kind of fell apart. And I said something that I shouldn't have said, and it was on my part. And my dad stopped talking to me for a whole year. My dad didn't talk to me for a whole year. Y'all would not believe this man. And I would see him every single day. My dad would see me and turn around and walk the other way. If my dad was sitting on the porch and I walked up on the porch, he would go in the house and shut the door. In my face, he would see me come into the door and shut it. That's just how mean he was. And he was that type of person. If you would piss him off, you done. And I could never talk to him or say anything to him because he was so mad at me. And every day it haunted me for a whole year. Guys, I'm not telling you no lie. That was the worst feeling ever. For your parents not to talk to you and they looking in your face. And he would turn his head or go in the house or pull off in the car. You know what I'm saying? Or he would play like he was asleep or something. And I mean, literally, me and my wife, we stayed around the corner from my mom and my dad. So literally, I walk out my house and walk down the street to my mom's house. I come in the house, my dad see me, he walk away, and I'm like, that's sad, that's bad. So one day I couldn't take it no more. I tried. I'm not gonna lie. I tried multiple times to say something to my dad. I tried. He refused to look at me. He would walk away so quickly that I couldn't catch it with him. And I'm like, this dude really was pissed with me. So one day, I came to this house, and what did I do? I just got his face, and I was trying to grab his arm. He don't touch me, and I was like, well, Dad, listen, I apologize. I was wrong. I should never have opened up my mouth. I should have kept my mouth shut. And I went on and I apologized and I pleaded. And my dad forgave me. That was the most wonderfulest day ever in my life. My dad said, okay, I'll accept your apology. And he talked to me. That was the most spectacular day ever. If you guys don't know what I mean by that, don't try it, because you're going to regret it if your parents are like my parents were. And after that moment, I grabbed his hand and I shook his hand. And I said, thank you for everything that you have done for me. Thank you for showing me the right way to do stuff. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me to be a man. Thank you. And I shook his hand. When my dad he was the type of person, he didn't like people to touch him. He always been like that. He had some kind of a phobia or something. If people would touch his hand, he would automatically wash his hands. It was something about that. I never knew. We never, from this day, we never knew what what caused him to act the way he was doing, but he was. But when I would walk into the house with my dad, the first thing I would do before I would say anything to anybody, walk in the house and shake my daddy's hand. Hey daddy, how you doing? And he would shake my hand back, and I would sit there to watch to see what he would do, but he never washed his hands or nothing. He sat there. And when it was time for me to leave the house or whenever I said, well, I'm about to go, I would shake his hand again and say, all right, Dad, bye. Katie, bye, son. See you tomorrow, whatever. And for him to say that and for him to take my apology was the most important thing in my life. And I continued to do that till the day he died. I shook his hand coming in his house. I shook his hand leaving his house. It didn't even matter if I saw my daddy in the street. I still walked up to him and shook his hand. And I shook his hand when I left. It had got to the point where I started shaking my father-in-law's hand. When I walked in my father-in-law's house, I would walk directly to him and shake his hand. And when I leave, I would shake his hand. I always wondered what my father-in-law thought about that. But I could see it in his face. He was proud of that. I don't know. He never asked me what made me start doing that. But I done it until he passed away. I shook his hand coming and going. No matter where I saw him at. I done the same thing. He took care of me and my wife just like I was his son. His real son. He has a son, but he took care of me just like that. And I helped him build a house port. I helped him lay cement in the yard. I helped him do a lot of things. And our nicknames were the same. So when my mother-in-law would call us, she would have to say little or big. Because our nicknames were the same. So amazingly, I don't know how that happened, but it was. And but I don't mean to ramble so much. But today is just something that I felt that I needed to say. Thank you, Mom, once again. You have done a good job. My brothers and sisters, we're fine. We are together. We may not talk all the time. We don't get along as much, but we do. The main thing is, if something happens, you better believe we will show up. And we will handle the situation. That's for definitely and for sure. I can promise you that. You won't have to worry about us not showing up. We will show up. And you ain't gonna like it if it's ugly. But we need to stick together a little more. My mom and dad would be more happier than they are happy of we just communicating, you know. So I did this video today on my vlog to remember my mom and my dad. If I can get the courage to do a video tomorrow at my mom and dad's grave, I will do so. The other day when I went out there, I couldn't say nothing. All I could do was just stand there and just look at them. I didn't have no words. So I know tomorrow if I do a video, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, this is my video for today. A contribute to my mom and my dad on Mother's Day video. You guys remember, like, share, and subscribe. Always comment That's always good. And remember, always talk to your mom and dad if they're alive. Never be mad and not talk to your parents, because without them, it would not be you. You know, a lot of people take that for granted. I miss my mom and my dad every single day. I look exactly like my dad. It is amazing how I look. My brothers look like my dad, but I look exactly like my dad. My driver's license and his driver's license look identical. When my mom was alive and I had to renew my license, I took a picture of when I took my driver's license, I showed it to my mom. My mom was like, "What you doing with your daddy's driver's license?" I said, "Mom, look at the name." She said, "That's you." I said, "Don't I look like that?" She was like, "Yeah." And I look in the mirror, that's who I see. I don't see me. I don't know how I look. I look like my dad. So just remember, your parents did a lot to get you where you at now. And if you take that for granted, then you just sad. You're just sad. But just make sure you do that. If it's just like me, just go out to the grave. Go out to the grave and see what's going on. I got this mess in my hand, trying not to get it tangled up because it got a fold at the neck on the machine, and so if I don't hold it like I'm holding it, it get kinked up. But I don't want people to think that, you know, I'm just drifting around. Last time I did that, it snatched it out of the machine, so I'm trying not to do that. But just talk to your parents, and like always,